I'm gonna go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to give all praises to the Most High for allowing me to be here this evening with you all. It's such a pleasure, as always. I'm sorry I missed you last week, but I just wasn't feeling too good. Just feeling under the weather, so I decided to just take a night off and relax. Next week, I might do the same thing because next week I turn the big 40 plus 1. It will be my birthday, the 19th. So my son has a program that night as well. So I'm thinking about taking that night off, if not going live a little earlier, just for a hot second, just to give you guys a little update. I might show you guys my vehicle. Haven't decided if I'm gonna do that yet. But yeah, I'm very gracious that he allowed me to find a vehicle, and that's a whole show in itself, a true testimony of how he showed me favor. And I was able to see his hand all in it. Like, there was no denying that this was the Father who led me to this vehicle, and I want to give all praises for that. So with that being said, I'm going to move on in to the segment tonight, and we're going to be talking about facing your fears, and also a little bit about facing your fears, and a lot about why you should be doing this, because especially when it comes to the point of stepping out on your dreams, exercising your talents, and displaying your gifts from Yah. Like we all are born into this world with a gift, truly a gift, and each one is different. As for myself, like I love to cook. I really believe my hands were blessed for it. Like, I can go in the kitchen and I do my best work with a little bit of nothing. I can taste something and replicate it. I can anything. Like, if you like a certain dish and I taste it, I literally can go and remake that dish almost exactly how it was. Not only that, he's blessed me with this new ability of transitioning my favorite foods or your favorite foods into vegan dishes, and it's like it just comes naturally. That's why I know it's truly a gift from Yah. It's a talent that he has bestowed upon me, and we're gonna talk about some of you guys' gifts and what you guys think you are capable of. Another one is advocating for people. So I just want to say this, like, it's important for us to face our fears and exercise our talents and gifts given by Yah, regardless if we are afraid or not. It is an insult to Yah when we do not multiply our gifts. Example given. You guys can go look up this story in Luke chapter 19. I will read the whole thing, but it kind of starts at chapter 11. Verse 10 or 11. And it's just explaining, it goes on to explain how Yah gave 3 men, it says 10 in there, but he emphasized on 3 of these men, and he gave them a pound each, and he entrusted it with them. So 2 of the men, they went on to multiply their pound, and 1 of the men did not. So 1 man, he multiplied his 10-time fold, and the other 5 times. So when Yah returned to the men and asked them what they had done, needless to say, the 1 man, he was telling how he had increased his by 10, and then the next went on to say by 5. And then the one, he didn't increase his 1 pound by any. And when the father asked him, like, why didn't you? Guess what his reasoning was? Fear. So that's why I'm speaking to you guys about this tonight. Like, it literally, and it goes on to say what he said and everything that I told this boy. Sorry, y'all. That was my honey. I just told him I was going live. He played too much. Can you guys hear me? Whoever's watching, can you just hit a heart or a thumbs up just to make sure I'm still being able to be heard? Wait a minute. Just told him. So hopefully you can hear me. But anyway, needless to say, he was not pleased with the man. He was expecting him to do exactly what the other two did, to step out and bring forth a multiplication of that gift that he had given him. And the man did not do it because he was afraid that he would not have reaped what he had sown. So he was more scared to have lost the money versus gaining something from the money. So he let his fear overtake him. And a lot of us today, that's what we're doing. Like, even myself, I have to admit that, like, I have been dreaming about having a catering service for years. I've been dreaming about my own restaurant. I've been dreaming about my own event space and doing my own events, and I never ever stepped out on it. Like, I talked about it all the time, but I never stepped out and did it. So now that I'm exercising that, I felt like it was a good thing to come to you guys and try to encourage you to do the same thing. Like, I wish I would have did it so much longer ago. Like, really, I really beat myself up every day now because I feel like I got so far to go. Even though I've come a long way, I still got so much further to go. And I figure if I would have did this 5 years, 10 years ago, when he placed it in my spirit that that's what I was meant to do, I would have been further along. But no time's wasted in Yah, and I'm just very thankful that he has shown his mercies and grace and bestowed them upon me, because I'm still being able to live that dream out and start these businesses and do these things. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about that too. So moral of the story is, you will never know the outcome unless you try. So even the most successful businesses, they fail before they succeed, guys. And I've been watching these little mini segments. I don't know what network it comes on, but I have Philo, and it's called Foods That Built America. You guys should look that up and see about streaming it on whatever network or streaming services you have. But it is so enlightening and so encouraging for me. Like, I could see y'all speaking through a TV show at me, just to encourage me and then uplift me and let me know, like, hey, they failed, but now look at them. They had a story on there about the Campbell soup guy, how Kraft cheese was made, Oreos, Nabisco, that's what it was. Just different corporations that basically started out of their home. Like the popsicle they had on there, it was like a mere accident of how it was made. And they're multi-billion-dollar companies now. So just to say that, you know what I'm saying, you never know unless you try. So I'm gonna move on for that. I want to ask you guys to ask yourself, what are my gifts and talents that were given by Yah? I told you guys some of mine. I'll reiterate. I talked about how cooking is a passion of mine, and owning a restaurant one day and doing the catering and stuff as I'm doing now, and the events and everything. I feel like I'm a good listener / advisor. I can listen to my friends all day and advise them on things to do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not so good at doing it myself or taking my own advice. But I see that as a strength within me and a gift that God, Yah has given me. So I plan on exercising that more with my ministry work and my outreach work later on down the line, as well as advocating for others. Like I've always, especially children, I've always been a type of person where I like to be a voice for people who don't have that voice, because I was once that way. I was always so shy and reserved about what I said, in fear of making someone upset with me or someone not ended up not liking me. So now that I've come into that confidence about myself, I find that to be one of my strong suits, is to help people and advocate for them. So I plan on doing that as well more in the future with the ministry and with the nonprofit that I have coming along soon. I'm in the process of getting all that licensing and all that together. So look forward to seeing a lot more of that stuff, which I've already expressed this to you guys. I already told you, like, it's gonna be big, it's gonna be huge, and I mean, nobody ever sees the middle work, and they only see the beginning and the end, and that's cool with me. You know, I've come to grasp, like, you have to just take it one day at a time. Everything ain't for everybody to know. Just know that it's manifesting, it's coming to pass. So, we're going to talk about storing up gifts and talents from fear. Like I've already said before, it's important to not only use your gifts, but also it's important to tie those gifts to kingdom purposes. Every gift that you are given, yes, we want to live nice. We want to have all the nice things that are our dreams. Our gifts we know our gifts are going to get us to our dreams, as far as like the house we want, the car we want to drive, the clothes, the bags we want to carry, and all that is okay. But at the beginning, at the very most important thing that you should be striving for is to tie to kingdom purposes, sowing into people, giving back, taking care of the needy, not the lazy, because we can get that misconstrued as well. We're not here to take care of the lazy. We're here to, help the needy. You know what I'm saying? It's a total difference between you being needy and lazy. And people get that messed up all the time. Like, they want somebody to give them a handout, or they want to ride your coattail to the top. That is not what I mean at all. Especially when it comes to these men wanting to, even women. I ain't gonna just say men, but it's more intended for men, because men are supposed to be the ones that are supposed to be carrying the weight of the financial burden, because back in Adam and Eve days, that was the sin. Like, we had to bear the children along with all the other stuff that go on, the month-to-month thing that allows us to bear children. They were supposed to be providing, working. They were not meant to work. They were meant to rest. The Sabbath was never supposed to end. But since, Adam let Eve tell him what to do about eating this apple or whatever, that was the sin that was bestowed upon us. So I kind of lean towards the men a lot when it comes to making the money and bringing the money home, but the women too. You know what I'm saying? They like to sit around and watch their woman go to work and want her to be the builder or the helper. And it's just like, I had somebody ask me last week, like, okay, I know I'm supposed to be submissive to my husband according to the Bible, and I know I'm supposed to be doing this and doing that, but what is the man's responsibility? And that's just what it is. So don't get it twisted when I say give it to the needy. It's literally the needy, not lazy. So yeah, you want to tie your profitable income or your business, anything, to the kingdom. And trust me, it will not go in vain. You're going to be blessed 10 times more if you do that. Like a lot of people, they be like, well, I was so, nobody helped me when I was down, and now it's my turn, and da, 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 da. Like, you want to literally give back, because once you give, you will receive. You can't receive until you give. That's just like if you have a closet full of clothes and stuff, and you got all these clothing and stuff in your closet. It's literally going to bust open eventually if you just try to take everything in versus putting something out. So, also want to talk about how everybody has a gift, and it's not meant for okay, each gift should serve as a function of the body of Yah. It was not meant for you to be good at everything. That's where your team comes into play. This is why it's important for you to build a team. Even corporations build teams. Everybody has a gift and a talent. You're not going to possess all the talents and all the gifts. And I go on to say this, especially for myself, because I'm so used to doing everything myself. Like, I want to have my hand on everything. I used to get caught up in doing this, even now with like my events. I'm like, I can't nobody do it like me. When that's true to so the sense say, but I'm not the best at everything. Everybody brings something to the table. For instance, my son's party or whatever, like the young lady Kalisha who's helping me with it, she brings a whole nother aspect to it. You know, she's more fine-tuned with making sure everything is set up ahead of time versus me. Like, I work best at the last minute. So it's just like everybody brings something to the table. Especially, I want to give a want to reiterate on something that happened at my job. It's like everybody brings something to the table. That's why corporations hire employees and build a team. Now, it's not easy, but it's necessary that we have all the different personalities and talents come together for the greater good of the company. And this can cause confusion and disagreements. I had a little situation that happened at my job with one of the people that are over me. You know, like, we do our job, then they check over our job, and then, you know, so on and so on. And it's a chain of command. And it's just like sometimes this particular person, they can like really tug at my strings and make me want to flip out. But I immediately always bring myself back, and I think, like, this is for the greater good. Who's important here in this equation? Is it myself? Is it this young lady who I feel like just desires power and over people? That's why she treats people this way. But is it me or her? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're here for the patient. And that's what's the most important thing to me. Like I said, I love advocating for people. I love, like I did CNA work forever. And that brought me joy to know that somebody depended on me and that I can do what they couldn't do, you know what I'm saying? Or help them out in a way where they were unable to help themselves. So I'm in that same situation now. So I had to remind myself, like, hey, let her do her little thing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you're here for the patient. And that's what I said. Everybody has to sacrifice something for the greater good of the company and the business and the dream and the goal. So I feel like sometimes I'd be like, why am I here, Father? You know what I'm saying? I'm so beyond this, you know. But he's been making me realize or having me remember, you know, to where I was in different situations where similar things were happening, if not worse things on my job was happening to me, or people were doing things towards me. And it's just like, I just thought, like, he just told me in my head, like, you're on the job training. You know what I'm saying? You're here to learn all the things that you will not do in your kingdom-based businesses. You ain't gonna make nobody feel like they're your child by talking to them like they ain't got no sense, or making them feel like, hey, I'm superior, you gotta do what I say. And you know what I'm saying? All these things was just preparing me for what's to come. And I really believe Yah chose me because he knew that I would be the one to follow through what he wanted to be done, and not just for my own purposes. I used to remember how I used to curse the Father, like, why did you bless me with a heart like this? I always forgive people who don't deserve it. And every time I forgive them, they keep doing me worse, or they keep doing this, or they keep doing that. And it seems like it would get worse and worse and worse, but I always forgive them. And then I have to think like, well, he forgives me every time. Every time that I do something wrong, he forgives me and he loves on me even more. But that's even more of a reason why I think that he has entrusted me with this great responsibility that he has. And can't nobody tell me that this isn't going to be big. Like, this is going to be so big to where I can't even fathom it at times. So all praises to the Father for our mom, because he keeps that dream going in me and keeps me knowing that I can do this. And you know, he covers me to the point to where when I don't have the strength, he helps me remember, you know, all our strength comes from the Father. So I think that's it. I didn't want to forget anything about talking about that situation before I moved on to the spiritual gifts. So I'm going to wrap this up. Let's talk about the spiritual gifts. They are listed in 1 Corinthians chapter 12. So I encourage you to go and read about those. And you can go on to read over up until, I want to say, chapter 14. And it's going to explain some of the other stuff I'm going to be talking about, the interpreting of speaking in tongues and all that stuff. So they listed wisdom, knowledge, faith, healing, prophecy, and manifestation. Then they have speaking in tongue, and the discerning of speaking in tongues. And well, that's basically the interpretation of speaking in tongue. So although Yahweh imparts or administers, all our gifts are given by the same Spirit, and should be used for profit as a whole, not separately. That's somewhat on the lines, as I was saying, as far as the physical, the business aspect, or the like I said, physical aspect of gifts and talents with your job or your business. Same thing for the spiritual. Like, all the things work together for the good of those who love Yah. So not everyone possesses the same spirit, but each gift is given. Not everyone possesses the same gifts. Gifts of the Spirit. But each gift is to be used for the edification and growth of the body of Messiah. Remember, our gifts are not given for our personal glory. All glory belongs to Yah. Each gift should serve as a function of the body where Yah places us. So, and that goes on again to say that we weren't given the same gifts, you know what I'm saying, just for that reason, so we can learn to work together as a body. And we are the church, you know what I'm saying? Like they say, for the good of the church, or the church, like the church has a different function or a different person for everything. Like in the spiritual aspect, we are the church, so therefore we must use each one of our gifts spiritually to make up this whole. And I think he did that so we can always unify and come together. You know, the Father is about togetherness. The division is of Satan. You know what I'm saying? Anything bad is of him. Anything good is of the Father. And he loves unity. Love, unity, togetherness. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all meant to be. We're not meant to be out separate by ourselves. That's why I don't like to hear people say, well, I don't need nobody. I'm a loner, and I like to do things by myself. And that's not how it was meant to be in the eyes of the Father. We're all supposed to be working together for His good. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about the interpretation of the tongues. So, where your gift lies. I really believe, like, deep down, everyone knows where their gift from Yah lies, where there's healing people, the spirit of wisdom, spirit of speaking in tongue, and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? I just encourage you to, just seek that and pray for the Father to surround you by like-minded people, to where your main focus is sharing bringing your gifts together to share with the world, to win souls for Yah, for Christ. So I just want to talk about one of the gifts in speaking of tongues. So I just wanted to share this with you guys because I thought it was very interesting, because I was given the gift of speaking in tongue. I want to say it was like in the 90s, 99, maybe early 2000s. Can't remember, just pretty vaguely. But anyway, I was always brought, when I received the gift of speaking in tongue, I was in a Pentecostal church or apostolic. And, we freely run, dance, shout, scream, speak in tongue freely in the church until recently. And I'm still comfortable with doing that, but now I find myself not doing it so loudly, because I learned, like, in the Bible, it tells you, like, how when you speak in tongues, they should be interpreted. And if not, it's considered just babbling, you know what I'm saying? So the first time that I experienced this, I was my first year back in Kansas City a couple years ago. It'll be 3 years. I'll be home in July, guys. But anyway, I was visiting this church, which is now my church home, Village West. And we were having service, and I prayed before I went to the service, and I was like, well, Father, if this is where I'm meant to be, I'm asking that the Holy Spirit move in the place, like literally during the service. And it did. It felt so hard to where I don't even think I heard the pastor speak this Sunday that we visited and ended up joining that same day, because the Spirit was so thick throughout the whole building, to where someone had spoken in tongue in the congregation, and I was like, oh my goodness, they speak it in tongue, because it's a mainly Caucasian church. So I was like, oh my goodness, they're speaking in tongue. And I've never experienced this. I had visited, I was a member of Transformation in Pensacola, and they didn't do it. I don't remember anyone doing it, but they did it here. And shortly after the lady spoke in tongue, a lady started speaking like she was telling us what the lady was saying in tongue. And I was like, wow, I never experienced that before, until later. And Mom was telling me, like, that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Like, when you speak in tongue, there should always follow an interpretation after that. So I can't get into teaching you guys about that or nothing, but go to your word and read it. And I pray that the Father gives you great discernment on that. So I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I think it's in order to always speak when it's. Now, if you're by yourself, like I'm at home and I'm worshiping, and I'm praying and worshiping, and I'll get to speaking in tongue and talking in my other language, it's perfectly fine when you're alone, but when you're amongst people, it should always be an interpretation. And that goes into the gifts of the Spirit. Like, not everyone will possess the same Spirit, but all of the gifts work together for the edification of the Father. And that goes on to say, like just so happen, like, just let's just say, like, the Holy Spirit is in a place, and someone has the gift of speaking in tongue, and they start speaking in tongue. If it's truly from the Father and it's something that he wants to relay or translate through someone, he will very well do it. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. And guess what? The person knew what this person was saying, and she was telling it, and she was like, how could that be? Because I've never done that before. I don't have that gift. And he used her at that moment to translate what this woman was saying. And it was real. It was real. So he's Yah. He is the Elohim of all. He can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. So just because you've never experienced or you possess this, it's possible. So it's so powerful, and I love talking about it, because it's mind blowing to me. Like, even now, I've been in church my whole life, and the things that I'm experiencing now, it's just like, it just fills me with joy every time. And I'm so thankful that I can come and I can share these things with you. And the more I learn and the more comfortable I get, I just know that this is meant for somebody, and it's going to help somebody so much. So my little bit of uncomfortableness, if it's worth it, if I just help one person. So with that being said, does anybody have anything to say? I really hope something was said to you guys tonight to help you face your fears and multiply your Yah-given gifts and talents, because that's exactly what your girl is intending to do while you all are watching. Like, I can't wait till the day comes where you be like, I remember when she was just and I'm powerfully sitting before you speaking all these things. And I just know that he's giving me this platform to make it that much easier for you guys, so you can see, like, she came from nothing. I even knew her before a woman in the middle of it, some people, and she's doing it, so I know I can do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to be an inspiration to you all, and I don't know it all. You know what I'm saying? So feel free to drop a comment or get in my inbox and be like, hey, you got that little thing wrong, or you got that big thing wrong. And hey, let's come together. Let's have a study. Let's learn together, because that's what it's all about for me. Just growing and possessing all the gifts and the spirits for the greater good of Yah, for his edification. So this is not about me, not about anything that I'm trying to do. Just trying to do what he has told me to do. No fancy word for him. Just do what I'm supposed to do. Afraid and all, because I'm telling y'all, even the devil tried to attack me before. He did attack, and that's okay, as long as we know, hey, you got that one over. I might have lost that little bitty battle, but at the end of the day, the war is already won. So with that being said, hey sis, thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Please share this. Hopefully it will reach someone that really needed to hear what I had to say about stepping out, because it's not easy. It's not easy, and it frustrates me so bad when I see people with these gifts and talents and they just scared to step out and use them. But I was once there, and I just want you guys to see that, like, for real. I worked a job all my life, and I'm still working a job. But at the same time, I'm further along than I was, because I was just working a job, and I had settled on the idea, like, this is what's going to be my life, And now, nope. I say this time next year I will not be at that job, and I'm claiming that in the name of Yah. So, and I know all things are possible. I know they are. And so, it's baby steps. And if you guys need any encouraging outside of this, inbox me. Like I said, I'm here. I'm a great listener. I call myself an advisor, because I can give good advice, but I don't take it myself. But I am practicing it. I'm practicing taking my own advice. So with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. And if the Most High says so, I will see you next week on my birthday. The girl is turning 40 plus 1. I'll be 41 years old. So my son has a program that night, as I said before. But I'm going to do my best to even just chime in with you guys for a little bit. So got a couple guest speakers coming up. I'm super excited about that. I still got to get with them and get all the details. I will announce that right before they come on, though. Very powerful women. Very powerful women. And they're going to give a testimony out of this world that I know is going to help somebody. So all praises to the Most High for that. So if there's nothing else that you guys want to address or drop below, I'm going to let you go. I'll wait a couple seconds for that. Please, 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 guys, if you're watching this, please share it. Please. I greatly appreciate it. And the person that may be touched or need this, they appreciate it as well. Because you never know. You never know who lives you will change, you know. And it's enough out here for us all. So if you guys got a product or anything, any help getting your name out here for something you want to do, I'm all about sharing and exposing you. So hit me up in my inbox, send me some merchandise, send me something, or give me something to lead with, because it's only so much I can do. Like if it's clothing or something like that, I can share your picture or whatever. But if it's as far as like food or a product that you want me to represent, I gotta try it to fully give my opinion on it. I just don't put out false information for people. But if you guys need a lead for anything, inbox me. I work with a network with a lot of people, and a lot of giving people, like are about business based. Shout out to Melanie Dangerfield. Go check her out at DFW Props and something. I share it on my page all the time. She does the balloons and stuff and events and prop rentals and all that in Texas. And she just inboxed me and blessed me with some stuff from my son's party. I think it's a backdrop and a decal. So if you're in Texas, and she ships. There's certain things that I don't do for my events. Like I'm not equipped to print out those backdrops. I'm not equipped to do the decals and all that stuff right now, because either I have the equipment and I haven't been trained on it, or I don't have it. And I give recommendations all day long, or I'll help you find it. So I don't see anybody seeing anything. Thank you again for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. And like I said, I'll see you next week if the Most High says so. But until next time we meet, just know that I love you guys, and I'm praying for you. Anybody need personal prayer, inbox me. But I consider you all part of my circle, and my circle is complete. So just know, with that being said, that you're covered, fully covered forever. So thanks again for tuning in. Please hit that share button, and I will see you guys later. Bye.